Ho, 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 and welcome along to another very special festive Pixiecast. And this time I am in the United Kingdom, or am I? Am I in Lapland? It's my little secret. But I'm joined by some lovely little elves and helpers this afternoon. And I will let them introduce themselves, starting on Merseyside with the lovely Joe.
Hello, I'm Joe. You've just said that. I don't know.
Hello, Joe. How are you?
I'm all right.
You've just been doing some festive haircuts, I believe.
I have, yeah. Festive gardening. I did do some festive lights in the back garden. I've put loads of coloured lights up around the back garden.
Looks like you got some nice lights behind you as well.
They're the ones in the front garden. We've gone for warm white in the front and coloured lights in the back.
Oh, get you. How posh.
We have themes.
Very nice. And you've got a lovely hat on there as well. Excellent. And to your left on my screen is your partner in crime from Merseyside, although no longer living in Liverpool. It's the lovely Helen. Hi, Helen. How are you?
Hello.
You okay?
I'm a bit snuffly. I'm sorry, so I apologise if I'm sniffing all the way through this. But yes, I'm okay.
That's all right. Don't worry. So, and you got your festive dinosaur top on.
It's a Christmas dinosaur.
A Christmas dinosaur, of course. And above you, heading up to Scotland, just west of Glasgow, is the wonderful Peter. Hi, Peter.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho. And you've got a very festive jumper on as well.
Yes, this is my elf jumper.
Excellent.
I am the tall elf.
So you're gonna help Joe and me deliver all the presents then, are you?
Yeah, that's the plan.
I do actually have something else additional on my jumper, but I don't know if it's a bit too much, but I'll give it a go. What do you reckon?
Oh, that is fantastic.
Yeah?
That's amazing.
I'm not going to stand here, though, for the entire duration of this chat. Yeah, it's a bit worried that you might have an epileptic fit
Christmas and some kind of incident, isn't it? A major incident. Emergency services in the room.
There's often a major
a Christmas first responder.
Yeah.
There's often a major incident when I'm around, so yeah.
Come for you, Helen. Stat dose of Christmas.
So, Joe, then, starting with you, Joe. Christmas as a child. Tell us all about your childhood memories.
It was fantastic. I used to get so excited that I'd throw up. All Christmas Eve I'd be vomiting because I was just so excited. Not much has changed.
Brilliant.
It was great. Well, my mum made a really big deal out of it. So we'd have this trail of glitter going right the way through from the front door, with footprints in it, or into the living room where all the presents were. And my mum, she was a single parent for a while when we were small, and then she was with my stepdad, but she always made a massive effort so that we had this big pile of things. And even if it was just, she made a lot of stuff. And she made me and my sister, so I grew up just with one sister who's 20 months older than me. And she made us these topsy-turvy dolls one year, and they were like a rag doll that she sewed. I watched her sewing all these little circles, and they kind of concertinaed to make these stretchy legs and arms. And they had a skirt on, and when you turn them one way, there was a little blonde doll, and when you turned it the other way, there was a dark-haired, woolly-haired doll.
Wow.
When you turned sort of the skirt the other way, and they were made of a gingham. And I had blonde hair, my sister had dark hair, and she made us dresses that were like the topsy-turvy doll.
Wow.
Oh, I remember those dolls. I remember those.
Do you? When you flip the skirt over and it was different doll underneath. Welcome.
And they were gingham as well, blue gingham.
Yeah. Well, I had a pink gingham.
Maybe it's a Scouse thing.
Maybe it is, yeah. Maybe it was basically our parents giving us our school uniform dresses to wear in the summer.
Cut up your old dresses.
So mine was pink gingham and my sister's was lilac gingham.
Oh, I'd completely forgotten about those. You've just brought back a really nice memory. Thank you.
Was it Christmassy, Helen?
No, I don't particularly remember them being Christmassy, but you know me and Christmas. I'm the Grinch of the group, aren't I? Here, but
You're the humbug, are you, Helen?
I'm the humbug. Sorry. Yeah.
That's all right. Don't worry. So, what are your Christmas memories?
Too small.
My Christmas memory was the best Christmas memory, the best Christmas present I can remember getting as a child. Again, being me, not girly at all, was a riding police car with a little walkie-talkie thing, and you could pedal it. So it was like a little pedal police car. And we came down, and this police car was under the tree in the morning. I must have been very young, 4 or 5, something like that. And I just remember it just, when you're little and it seems huge, and all we did all day was go up and down the street in this little police car with this walkie-talkie, taking turns in it and everything. That was, and my nan, every year she had a little sewing room, and she'd take us to a shop. You might know it, Jules. It was called El Kilos, and you could buy all kinds of fabric and stuff. It's in Liverpool town centre, and she used to let us choose fabric, and she'd make us our own little dressing gowns and monogram them. So I had little HG on my dressing gown, on this fancy fluffy dressing gowns. We got new dressing gowns every Christmas. So that, lovely personalised things she'd always make for us. Yeah.
Well, lovely. And what about you, Peter? Sorry.
I think the thing I remember most, one, we had a real fireplace, like a real fire, so that was just lovely for Christmas. And and we didn't get like snow a lot, but I always remember it as being snowing when I was wee, even though it never did. And I think my favorite present, well, it was always that thing of the presents have all been opened, and you're like, oh, I didn't get what I asked for, and then you go into the kitchen, and it's like, oh, what's this in the kitchen? And it was a BMX, BMX, which I absolutely loved. Yeah, so I think that was probably my favorite Christmas.
Lovely, excellent. And so, Jo, what will you be doing this Christmas then with your family?
We don't usually. We try and go and do something festive, like National Trust, and we've been to some lovely, and they have it, like there was one at Erdig in North Wales, and there were Christmas lights through all the woods, and you went through the woods and it was lit up and the carols playing, and then they projected onto it's like a big stately home, and they did this sort of light show so that it lit up all the windows like an advent calendar. And it's like each number opened and like different things flew out of these windows. It was absolutely beautiful, and they had mulled wine and roast chestnuts and everything. But we booked something like a drive-through thing that we were supposed to do tonight, and it's been postponed. It's a bit rubbish this year. We're not really doing.
But what about actually on Christmas Day then? You'll be at home with the family, yeah?
Yeah, I always cook Christmas dinner. And this year, obviously, I haven't really spent any time with my son and daughter. The son's at Leeds Uni, and Daisy's now she's moved into a flat with a boyfriend, but hopefully they're coming for Christmas dinner,
right? Because
we got given a lot of the lateral flow COVID tests in work that give you a result in 30 minutes. So I've spoken to my manager, and I'm going to give them one each to take Christmas morning.
Right,
he's coming from Leeds and staying at her flat, and then they can take them, and then they can come for Christmas dinner. So.
Okay. And what about you, Helen? What will you be doing? I hope you're not going to be working on Christmas Day, are you?
No, I'm on call right up to Christmas, but not on Christmas Day.
Okay.
Thankfully. I'm going to go and get my mum. It's usually a bit of a girly Christmas morning, me and my mum and Annie. And we have Christmas morning together. And then at lunchtime, we did go to my sister's, but we're not going to be doing this year. I'm taking Annie to her dad's, taking my mum back home, and I'll probably be going over to see my boyfriend and spend the rest of Christmas with him. Probably not a Christmas dinner, but I'm not bothered. No. I don't mind. It's about, what is Joe's face saying there? What? I did buy a corn roast. We're going to do a delayed Christmas dinner later on.
Well, we're going to come on to food in a minute. So yeah. And Peter, will you be roasting your chestnuts on Christmas morning?
Maybe. It depends. If I'm too close to the fireplace, then it might. No, we don't have the real fireplace anymore. But yeah, I'll be with my mum and dad, and my sister will probably be down there as well. And and my brother will probably be down on Boxing Day, and there'll be a visit from my mum and dad's neighbours, who last year visited dressed as a pantomime horse. Which, and my brother's had his dog with him and everything, and it was just like a dog barking at a pantomime horse for like an hour. It was probably one of the most surreal Christmases I think I've ever had.
Sounds like something out of Father Ted or something.
Yeah. It was
brilliant. And so it's a bit of a journey for you, isn't it? Just to explain how you have to, modes of transport that you have to take to get to see your parents.
Yeah, so I get a bus into Glasgow and then get a train to Gourock and then get the boat and then get the bus. But right. Yeah, it's about 2.5 hours. Yeah, and if it's rough, then the boat is not a great experience.
Okay. So Joe, Christmas dinner. You just pulled a bit of a face when Helen said she might not be having Christmas dinner. So what's on the menu in the Kirkham household?
Well, it's going to be a veggie one this year.
Okay.
I do a massive spread. Normally we do like a Christmas Eve sort of party, and we do a massive spread for that, and then we'll sort of keep all the leftovers and have them Christmas night after we've eaten Christmas dinner. Just basically eat all day. Mm-hmm. But we're going to do corn roast. I've seen this kind of like veggie thing in M&S. Not just any veggie thing, it's an M&S veggie thing.
You're so posh, aren't you?
I know, yeah. I am on the slide.
National Trust, M&S Christmas.
He's waiting for a John Lewis Christmas tree as well.
I am waiting for my John Lewis Christmas tree as well.
Blimey.
Getting all the adverts.
Tell anyone I'm posh.
Are you sponsored this year, Joe?
Aren't you? You are from the Wirral, though, aren't you? Not proper Liverpool.
Yes, I'm from the Wirral. Posh Scouse.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was saying. What did you ask me?
What you're having for dinner? Your posh dinner.
Yeah. So my roast potatoes are excellent. I'm not being big-headed or anything, but they're just brilliant.
Okay.
So I'll be doing really fantastic roast potatoes, really fantastic roast parsnips, sprouts, obviously. And if you do them with a little bit of butter when you boil them, some red onion, they're absolutely gorgeous. Veggie stuff. I'm going to try and invent some kind of vegetarian version of pigs in blankets. So I might just do.
I've tried. It's really hard. The bacon doesn't
fold. Yeah.
It's a tricky time of year, actually, I'd imagine, for vegetarians, isn't it, really? No. So what will you be having then, Helen?
Probably cheese on toast.
Fair enough.
Have an egg, won't you?
I'll have an egg bagel. Yeah. No, I'll do like Joe. I'm going to do my roast potatoes are probably equally as awesome as Joe's. I love roast potatoes, and I always make twice as many as I need because we'll all attack them after when they're going cold and just take them out of the tray. Oh my god!
And even if you dip them in cold gravy, oh my god, they're gorgeous.
Annie used to do this thing where we get little Yorkshire puddings and then she'd put like a roast potato in and make each little Yorkshire pudding like a little meal and his own, fill it up and eat the little Yorkshire puddings on the plate.
And Peter, are you vegetarian as well?
Yeah, you're surrounded by vegetarians.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Jeez.
Yeah.
No wonder you ordered so pasty.
All these ethical British people, you see.
So what will you be having on Christmas Day for your lunch then, Peter, at your mum's house?
Yeah, so I'll have all the trimmings, including my mum's amazing roast potatoes, while we're on the subject of roast potatoes, and stuffing, and I'm going to probably have corn steaks, because I really like them, and just have all the trimmings with that. Mm-hmm. And basically stuff my face for about 3 weeks.
Excellent.
Trimmings, corn, peppered steaks?
Ooh,
yeah.
I can't get them anywhere now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've tried it for a while. We used to like them.
No, I love them. Yeah,
Asda seems to be the only place where I can get decent veggie stuff. I got corn pepperoni the other day. I walked around. I stood in Asda on my own going, yes! Because you can find something decent. So slices of pepperoni out the fridge all the time.
And to wash all that down, Joe, what's your favourite tipple at Christmas?
Just anything in the cupboard, really. Well, I'll sort of I'll open some Prosecco or champagne, depending on how much you want to spend. Carver, maybe.
Uh-huh.
Just start drinking while I'm cooking the Christmas dinner.
Brilliant.
And then it just makes it a bit merry. And it makes it taste better as well, if I'm a bit tipsy when I cook it. So then I'll sort of have a big glass of that.
Is that your opinion or your family's opinion?
I probably, I don't know, it seems like theirs, but it might just be that I'm drunk and I can't really tell and I think they're enjoying it. I enjoy it, so it's okay.
Uh-huh.
So I'll have that. But when I put the lights up, like I had to have a Baileys yesterday, because once you put the lights up, you've got to have a Baileys.
Right. Okay.
Christmas Day, I'll have Carver, and then I'll probably move on to gin. Christmas
Nice.
Eve, maybe beer. Basically, the whole bar I'll go through.
Excellent. You got a bar in the house, have you?
Not really. Well, it's called the fridge.
And what about you, Helen? I know you like your pints, but what do you like at Christmas as a tipple?
It's going to be red wine. I don't really drink wine, but I'm getting into red wine. There's one couple of bottles that we both like, so I'll have some red wine, and that just, when you can feel it in your legs first, and your knees feel pissed. You feel pissed from your knees up, kind of thing. That's the red wine feeling.
Hey, listen, you've seen me drunk, so I can't be a part of this conversation.
And then I've got some nice Recorder-Lig ciders in, cherries and berries or something like that. And there's always a bottle of Malibu on top of my fridge. So that's the mix that I like to have. And then at the end of it, I always feel quite sober, and everybody else tells me I'm a bit drunk.
Right. But you stay away from the creamy stuff like Baileys and like.
Oh, I don't like that. No, sorry.
What about you, Peter?
Beer, gin, whiskey, and the one time I will have Baileys is at Christmas. So that's probably the most Christmassy for me, because it's not one I'd normally have. Yeah. But yeah, I'll basically whatever, normally.
Can be a bit fatal depending on what order you drink it in, though. So.
Yeah. I wouldn't put it in the one glass, put it that way.
Ooh. Oh, what's it called, Peter? If you mix Baileys, what else is it?
Gin and tonic and lager.
What's it
it's called? A lady boy.
A lady boy.
A lady boy. I was going to say, is it not called a disaster?
Do you drink lady boys at Christmas?
No, but I have drunk.
Don't say you've had a lady boy at Christmas, please.
Yeah. Hopefully people get the reference to that and just don't think we're
Okay, so let's moving on then, shall we? What about music? Festive music. What puts you in the festive spirit, Jo? Music.
Oh, everything.
Yeah.
Everything. The cheesier the better. Mariah Carey, Shaking Stevens, Bring It On. All the Christmas cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Finished.
Are there any that you don't like that you have to turn them off? I mean, you've mentioned most of the worst ones.
Yeah, there's one that was done by somebody who won the X Factor, and I can't remember her name. And it goes One More Sleep. Do you know which song? I mean,
is it Alexandra Burke?
5 more sleeps until you Well, it's got this high bit, and it goes mistletoe or something like that. But it's like she struggles to sing the high bit, and it goes dead faint. And I just think you shouldn't have done that song. I have to turn it off. Bit judgmental, I know.
Not like you, Jo, to be judgmental.
Not at all.
What about you, Helen? What puts you in the festive spirit musically? None of them?
Not a lot.
No?
No, I'm not a Christmas songs person. There was one I heard in a shop today, and I couldn't tell you what it was if you held a gun to my head, but it was tolerable.
Right.
And I'm not a wham person. If it comes on in the car, I can't get to the stereo fast enough to turn it off.
Last Christmas?
What if it was James Dean Bradfield singing Last Christmas?
I haven't heard that yet. I nearly clicked on it before and I didn't, because I wasn't feeling Christmassy. But the darkness, I love darkness. So Bell's End, that's the best I can do. I like that. And I've seen him singing it live in a green jumpsuit that was sparkly, and it was wonderful. So yeah, I can get into that one.
What about the Pogues? Everybody likes the Pogues.
Oh yeah, okay, yes. And we were just saying, weren't we? Grace Petrie's done a cover version of it, and then instead of saying the word that everybody doesn't like, she says, "You scumbag, you maggot, I love Diane Abbott." and there's t-shirts with that on the front of it as well. So yeah, but her and Caitlin singing it. Oh, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It's really nice.
And what about you, Peter, being the musician amongst us?
Well, yeah, I love Christmas songs. I have a playlist that's about 4 hours long, and I have to say it does include Mariah Carey as well. The only one I don't like actually is "Step Into Christmas" by Elton John.
Okay.
Because I think he phones it in. But to be fair to him, he has another Christmas song called "Merry Christmas, Maggie Thatcher," which is absolutely brilliant, and it's not complimentary about Maggie Thatcher, just in case you're wondering.
Elton John does.
Yeah,
Wow.
he does. Yeah, it wasn't a hit. I think it might have been used in Billy Elliot or something, but
right.
Yeah, it's really, really good. But no, I love Christmas songs, so much so that I've actually written one myself as well. Well, written two over the last 2 years. Yeah.
I listened to them yesterday.
Thank you.
I did.
I guess you're not set up to play one of them for us now, though. It's asking a bit much, isn't it? But...
No, the words just wouldn't be there. Because one of them actually is Pixies Christmas, which is basically about I reference Pixies songs throughout the whole thing in the context of Christmas.
Do it.
Oh, wow.
Go
No,
on,
I can't remember the words, but it is
gonna be Pixies this Christmas. Something like that, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like I'm gonna dance around with Rudolph when Doolittle is on and things like that, and it's rather silly.
Don't be a debater. It's Christmas.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh dear, brilliant. Okay. Completely lost my train of thought now. So going back to your sort of childhood memories and things like that, and obviously Joe and Helen, you've got children of your own now, and do you try to replicate what it was like for you as children for your own children? Or obviously they're sort of growing up a little bit now, but do you try and sort of do things that you used to do as kids for them, or did you?
Are you answering that, Joe?
Okay, or do you want to go first?
Well, I don't mind. I don't, because I can remember my dad sneaking presents downstairs as a kid and spotting them and thinking, hang on a minute, Father Christmas is supposed to do that, not my dad. Yeah. And then going to the Royal Legion, and Father Christmas had my granddad's shoes on. And I was thinking, why has Father Christmas stolen my granddad's shoes? That's not a very nice thing to do. Never twigged that it was my granddad under the beard. So my daughter came up to me when she was about 7 or 8 and told me that the Tooth Fairy and Father Christmas weren't real.
Oh,
and
no.
She's
they are they? She lied.
I mean, they might not be real. Sorry.
Excuse me. How dare you?
Well, you look very real.
I'm
Andrew.
very real.
That's real.
It's Disco Father Christmas.
Can't believe it. I don't know if you can still see my bobble or not, but we've even got a bobble.
For me, it's about family and friends and seeing people and things like that, and not about the presents and stuff like that. Annie never asks for anything. She's not that kid who goes, "Can I have this? Can I have that?" I have to squeeze out of her what she wants for Christmas, and so But we always make a special effort on Christmas morning. We do have a lovely, lovely morning together. It's really nice.
What time do you start on the alcohol then? Bucks Fizz in the morning, is it?
I'm going to be driving, so it won't be till late.
Yeah. And Peter, have you got nieces and nephews?
No, actually, but I do. It does resonate with me, the thing about Santa Claus sneaking about when it wasn't actually Santa Claus. Because it just makes me think of when my dad did that, and he stubbed his toe and went, "Oh, bastard," like that, and that is the moment. That is the moment I knew my dad was Santa, or at least Santa wasn't maybe not real, because I thought Santa wouldn't swear like that. But it was my dad. Yeah.
Oh.
And so Joe,
I do have Maxwell, of course, but
of course, do you buy Maxwell a present?
Yeah, actually, I do. Yeah.
A present?
But yeah, a few presents.
What does Maxwell get for Christmas then?
Usually treats of some kind.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, or a toy as well. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And it even gets wrapped as well.
Okay. And Joe, so when I come down your chimney, is there going to be a glass of sherry and a mince pie waiting there for me?
Yeah. Well, there'll be Bailey's probably, a mince pie.
I can do
Carrot
Bailey's
for the reindeer.
Uh-huh.
I won't say for Rudolph because poor, the rest don't get a look in, do they? Poor Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donna, and Blitzen.
They'll be at the end of the road waiting. Oh, nobody likes a smart ass.
I imagine Jo's got their names tattooed on her arm.
Yeah, that just makes me think
They're
of
in my
Arnold
heart.
Schwarzenegger.
And where I hope the mince pies are Marks and Spencer's mince pies, Jo.
Not just any mince pies. Actually, they're probably Aldi special pies, but still posh.
Well, I've done the test. I did a test one year of trying all the different mince pies, and Marks and Spencer's are the best. Not that I'm, sponsored by them or anything, but they are definitely the best.
What did you put out for Father Christmas, Helen?
Oh, sorry.
Are you
Did you used to put anything out for Father Christmas? No.
No.
Oh, you're a proper humbug. I'm not coming around to your house and dropping off any presents.
And I blocked all my chimney up as well.
Oh.
That means you just climbed in through the window then.
I'm going to go back to Jo now, because Jo was going to say something nice and festive. Jo, what were you
Well, we go out on the drive and we chuck magic reindeer dust on the drive to guide them, so they can sniff it and they know where to come to. And then when my eldest son was kind of a teenager and Charlie was really little, he kind of went in the back garden. And so while we were on the drive, we heard this Christmas bell ringing.
Wow.
There was actually my teenage son in the back garden ringing a bell so that we could hear it on the drive.
And what does the reindeer dust smell of then? Just so as I know, so the reindeers are, pre-warned.
Smells of magic.
Smells of magic.
Is it like catnip? For reindeer?
Yeah. It's nothing illicit. I think it's just porridge and glitter.
Just porridge and glitter.
Yeah.
So, Peter, you're going to be up in Scotland for a few weeks, I believe. Up in Scotland, up with your parents, I mean, because you're ready. So that will take in Hogmanay, which I know is a big thing in Scotland.
Yeah, it's massive in Scotland. It's almost bigger than Christmas. But I've got English parents, so I don't know if I fall under that remit of thinking about Hogmanay so much. But I do like it. It's a good excuse to have a drink. But I don't know if it's as big for me as like Christmas itself.
Right. Have your parents got Scottish accents as well?
No, not at all. My dad still sounds like he was brought up near London, right. And that sort of working class Cambridge accent is a wee bit sort of like London as well. Okay. And my mum just sounds English. They have Right. Weirdly, actually, now that you've mentioned that, I don't think I've ever heard my mum attempt a Scottish accent. I might have to ask her to do that later on, just for the fun of it.
Brilliant. Okay, so you'll be there for New Year. So what happens for you, Jo, for New Year?
Nothing. Dead bored, really. We go out and watch the billions of fireworks that go off everywhere.
Yeah.
And then come back in. Usually watch a bit of Jules Holland.
Hootenanny.
Yeah, it's Hootenanny.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's as good as he used to be in terms of the acts he has on. You get occasional really good stuff, but like a lot of it, it's kind of, he has favourites, doesn't he, that are on quite a lot. Like I know he had Paloma Faith on quite a bit, didn't he?
Oh, dear me.
Yeah, I'm not.
She's
really
not getting Christmas presents from me this year.
Is it bad that whenever Jules Holland sits down at the piano, I go, "Oh, let somebody else have a go."
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Well, he did let someone else have a go. That's why Squeeze have been so good for so many years, because Jules Holland left them.
And yet we watch it still.
Yeah, always the best thing on. That's why it's that or nothing, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. I feel like I feel I'm not sort of no modern music is good at all. But I think maybe about 3 years ago it's gone downhill a wee bit. Jules Holland, but it's probably the bookers. It's nothing to do with him. It's people that book the acts.
Well, maybe
did I read a thing
getting old,
saying that it wasn't even live?
What, Hootenanny?
It's recorded the day before, isn't it, or something?
No, it's recorded about like November or something.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Not fair, not right.
Because you used to watch Jules Holland, didn't you? And like, because there'd be some really good new acts, and I'd end up sort of getting music because of seeing new people on Jules Holland, and that just hasn't happened for ages now.
Yeah, I feel like maybe, I don't know, every once in a while there's usually like maybe one act on each show, but that's about it. And then, you know,
Didn't they have Metallica on?
he did have a few years ago. He had Metallica on a
Yeah.
few years ago, and they were really poor.
Yeah, really bad.
Yeah,
Doing
I mean,
all
I
the
don't
kind of
mind
like
that.
the rock
You know.
stances with like this little audience of people. It just looked quite strange.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't mind that kind of music. I'm not a big Metallica fan, but I don't mind that kind of music at all. But they just didn't perform very well, I didn't think, on it.
Yeah, Pete is a big Metallica fan. Well, he was years ago, you know, in the early days. But he wasn't really impressed by that performance either.
Yeah.
So
Probably got
picked
paid
out
like 900 billion quid as well for doing it.
Picked out any TV highlights that you're going to be watching on TV, Joe, in the family this year?
It's just pure Christmas channel the whole time.
Right.
So I've watched so far The Family Stone, The Grinch is on now. I watched Christmas with the Cranks this morning. I am a bit pathetic, like it's just non-stop. Even like the cheesy Christmas films on like Channel 5 or whatever. I watched a great one the other year called A Christmas Carol about a woman called Carol at Christmas.
What time of year was it set?
Do either of you two remember? I mean, when I was a kid, I can remember every year there was a film on called One of Our Dinosaurs is Missing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Peter used to know.
See, there you go. Christmas jumper, and then those old ladies nick this dinosaur skeleton, and I can remember it was on every year. I'd love to watch that again.
That's weird because I have a memory. I do actually have a memory of that as well, and specifically like getting our stockings ready and everything, and that film being
every
on.
Year. Yeah.
I wonder if it's on Disney Plus. Was it a Disney film?
Oh God, I can't remember. I can't remember at all.
Yeah.
It was a bit like Bed Knobs and Broomsticksy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which, if you watch now, is absolutely full of innuendos.
That was the first film I ever saw at the cinema, Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
Oh, Terminator for me it was, when my dad took me to see Terminator.
Oh,
I'm not even going to tell you.
Different.
It's probably in black and white. No, it was Bambi.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently I cried when Mummy Bambi died. Yeah.
When they stopped drawing.
Sorry, spoiler alert. If anyone's not seen Bambi.
I've
not seen it.
I can say that's on the list of films that I've never seen.
You've ruined it.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and The Sound of Music. I've never seen that either.
You don't want to see Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Why? What's wrong? That's a great film.
Child, Helen.
Terrible film.
No.
God, Peter, sorry, I can't let that go. Why is Chitty Chitty Bang Bang a terrible film?
Well, it's just dreadful. But also, I don't know. Like when you've got songs that are in Mary Poppins just getting rehashed, unless I'm wrong and it was the other way around. But then I apologise. But I mean, I love Mary Poppins, but I just can't get. I could never like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I don't know.
I didn't like the child capture. He always scared me as a kid.
Yeah, that would be scary when you're a child.
Yeah.
I would have thought. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Just don't watch it. There's my answer. There you go.
Yeah.
So, what's your favourite Christmas film then, Helen? Sorry, just putting you right on the spot there.
I don't know if Home Alone's classed as a Christmas film, but I like Home Alone. Annie loves Home Alone.
That's a lot of people's favourite.
And Annie and I have this thing about Christmas out of season. This is why she thinks I'm weird. I'll take Christmas in May and April, and we'll watch Christmas films then, and I'll wear my Christmas socks for work. But when nearer it comes to Christmas, the more resistant I am to it. And then when it comes back round to February, I'll start wearing my Christmas socks again. I don't know why. But,
Joe, have you got a favourite Christmas film?
It's a Wonderful Life.
I still haven't seen that, you know.
No way.
I know.
I've seen that.
It's fantastic.
I've seen that.
Yeah. Sorry, what did you say, Helen?
That even I've seen that.
Okay. And you're a lot younger than me. Peter, you got a favourite Christmas movie?
I do have a favourite Christmas movie. It's a bit controversial for some people, especially as it was released in summer. But my favourite Christmas movie is Die Hard.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Yeah. I also love. I love loads of Christmas movies. Another one I really like is Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right. Okay. I've got a lot of catching up to do.
Is Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh, Muppet Christmas Carol as well. That is just you know, that makes me feel the most Christmassy, a Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that brings out my inner Scrooge.
Fantastic.
So, Joe, what are you hoping to have in your Christmas stockings this year?
Well, I'm hoping to have a new turntable.
Uh-huh.
And weirdly, this box arrived the other day with Marant's turntable written on it or something like that.
Mm.
I was like, Pete, there's a box on the porch. So don't know if I'm getting one or not.
Right. Okay.
Maybe it's something else in the box.
You're going to be disappointed if it isn't.
Probably like a tin of Quality Street or something, just in that box.
What about you, Helen? Have you put in any requests to the boyfriend?
Oh no, he told me I'm not getting you anything. I said, you can get to Debenhams right now and go and buy me something.
Yeah, before it closes down.
We're both not big Christmas people. But I did get a present the other day and I was told I wasn't allowed to open it. It's come all the way from a certain group member in the States. So I've got to put that under my tree.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know what it is. So
well, I have this funny thing that Jordan likes to use my bank card to do all her online shopping, and then we settle up at the end of the month, which means I have to go through my my app on my account to see what's come out of my account. It's absolutely horrendous, the amount of money that comes out of my account. But anyway, there was something that said Pixies on there as well, so I might have something Pixie related coming my way for Christmas as well. So, Peter,
it is Christmas though, so it could be like a Christmas Pixie.
It could be a Christmas Pixie, yeah,
like absolutely. A little elf.
So, Peter,
like an elf on the shelf.
Do your mum and dad still ask you what you want for Christmas?
Well, yeah, my mum does, and I'm usually like, I don't know, just get me whatever, because I'm a bit like Annie in that respect. That I just it's not the most important thing to me about Christmas at all. Mm-hmm. I mean, my mum usually gets stuff out of me eventually of what things that I would like. But honestly, if I didn't get any of them, it wouldn't spoil Christmas for me.
So you've never had any terrible Christmas presents and that ruined your Christmas?
Well, there was one situation where when I was about 8 or something, I decided to have a sneaky look to see what I was going to get for Christmas. And I saw this remote control car and I thought, oh wow, this is going to be amazing. That's going to be great. I can't wait to get it. And then on Christmas Day, my dad unwrapped this present and it had the same, and it was basically that remote control car, which wasn't a remote control car. It was just like car wax, but it had a car on the front of it.
Oh.
Yeah, and that taught me a valuable lesson. So I never ever, had a sneaky look at Christmas presents ever again after that.
Very sensible. Don't want to spoil
I've got
Christmas,
Annie a keyboard this year.
Wow.
A keyboard, and I think it comes with like online lessons because she's dying to learn the keyboard. So, and I've hidden it in the boot of the car. I keep saying, "Don't go in the boot. Don't go in the car." You can't look. Why?
So, have you got lots of presents for your kids dotted around the house, then, Joe?
I'll have to try and speak quite quietly.
Oh, okay.
One wants a chinchilla.
Hard to keep that secret.
Well, there isn't a chinchilla here. The chinchilla is still in the North Pole.
Oh, okay.
But it is arriving.
I'll check when I finish talking to you guys. Make sure it's still okay.
Actually, you saying that thing about spying that present, Peter, it reminded me, like my mum, it wasn't something, well, there was something I saw before Christmas Day, but this was, every year I asked for a pony, every single year. Never got one. And this one year, I say that like I was badly done to, I never got a pony. But one year, like, I was opening my presents, and, I said my mum was good at sewing. There was this, like, brown cord sort of material with a patch with a horse's head in a horseshoe in it, and I was like, oh my god, it's Rising Star. And I opened another one and it had the same thing, and I was like, oh my god, I'm getting a horse. And I was sort of waiting for them to give me the big surprise that it was a horse. And what it was, because I was so mad on horses and wanted a horse, my mum had made me like this brown cord A-line skirt with this horse's head on a patch on the pocket and a matching little brown cord waistcoat. No bloody pony at all.
Oh.
I waited for ages and I kind of realised after a while I wasn't getting it all.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Now I'm going, this was meant to be a fucking pony.
And clearly you've never forgotten it.
Oh God.
So you never did get the pony then?
No, I still tell them every time my mum asks me each year now, I just say a pony, but it hasn't got me one. She's actually got a farm now and she's got donkeys. And I said, you could actually get me a pony instead of your as well as your donkeys.
Yeah.
No, it's a lot of work to look after. It's not like she's in her 70s or anything, you know what I mean?
Inconsiderate.
It's not the spirit of Christmas, is it?
No.
50 years and you've not got a pony yet. I think there's time to put in get an official complaint to Santa whilst he's here, Joe.
I'll see what I can do. I could do you a reindeer on the 26th of December.
Oh, that'd be lovely.
Which one do you want? Come on, remind me of the names.
I'll probably go with like Donna. I think that's probably one of the least popular.
Right, okay. Donna it is.
There's films about Comet, isn't there? And they mention Blitzen quite a bit. And even Prancer and all that, but Donna
just gets forgotten about.
A kebab.
Yeah.
After Christmas on the
26th. Okay, well, guys, it's been lovely to speak to you. Thank you so much for joining me to share a bit of festive spirit. Is there anything you'd like to say to the rest of the Pixies group? I'll go around again one in time, starting with you, Joe.
Can I go last? I haven't thought of anything yet.
All right, all you've got to do is just say Happy Christmas, but that's fine. I'll come back to you, Helen.
Yeah, have a nice Christmas. I mean, there's a lovely connection within the group and we can't be with each other and we can't see each other, but we'll all be thinking of each other and just have a lovely time and a great new year.
Peter?
God bless us, everyone.
Brilliant. Come on then, Joe, have you thought of something now? Something Scouse.
Happy Christmas and everything that Helen said.
Yeah.
Happy Christmas, lad.
Have a lovely one. And I look forward to sort of seeing everybody's trees and pictures of their meals. And I know it's hard if you're not with family that you're usually with at Christmas, but you know, we're with each other virtually, all of us, aren't we?
We are.
And have been all the way through this as well. So
lovely.
Yeah, happy Christmas.
Thank you. I can go and take this off now and blow my nose. Guys, thank you so much. It's been brilliant seeing you. I love you guys so much, you know that. And I wish you all three and your families a very, very happy Christmas and a prosperous new year.
Too.
You too.
Cheers, guys.
Bye-bye.
Happy Christmas.
Bye.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho.
Merry Christmas.